this. If we've got inequalities, what are we going to have to do with these?
Make it dotted.
Shade them and potentially dash that line or make it a solid line. Which of these, 1, 2, okay, let me put them in colors. Which of these, gray, blue, or red would be a solid line?
Gray.
Just gray, because that's the only one that's or equal to, right? These are both going to be dashed lines. All right, people. For a coordinate to be a solution, it must make a blank statement when substituted into the problem. True, you got it. Truth. If the coordinate does make a true statement, then it's in the which region? Shaded. Great. So with that being said, you guys, I just want us to practice graphing these again. Let's not look at the beginning of that question. Let's just practice. We know our parent function here is a good old x squared parabola. Where's that parabola going to go? To the right 2? Down 3. So honestly, you guys, at this point, I feel like this still helps us to write this. Right 2, down 3. I'm going to go right 2, down 3. There's the vertex of my parabola. Then, all we have to graph is an x squared. All we got to graph is an x squared. X squared from this origin. What is 1 squared?
1.
1. So I'm going to go right 1 and I'm going to go up 1. What's 2 squared? 4. So I'm going to go right 2 and then up 4. What's 3 squared?
9.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Then I'm just going to reflect my points because I know the parabola has that line of symmetry. And I know anything squared would be positive, so it'll be above that vertex. Okay, you guys, are we down to make a solid or dashed? Solid. Good, you guys. Go ahead and make that nice solid line. Then we got to talk about shading it. We got to shade it. What's a point you want to pick? Are you guys comfortable picking 0, 0 in this sitch? I am meaning to. Do you guys agree? I don't really know. 0, 0 is really close to my line. Like, I don't feel confident picking it as my point to know where to shade. Would you guys agree with that? Give me another point that's pretty easy. I love that, Kale. He's like, okay, how about just 1, 1? That is definitely in this location. Let's put it in. Kale, if we got 1 is less than or equal to. If we got everybody, what's 1 minus 2?
-1.
-1, square it. 1 minus 3.
-2.
Is 1 less than -2? No. So Kale told me to try point 1, 1. It was false. So I'm not going to shade where that is. And I'm going to shade over here. Outside of it. Very well said. Does it make sense that we shade it outside if it says less than? Isn't this area underneath that's less than that? Okay. Luke Lee, what do you think about 3, -4? It says, is this going to be a solution? 3, -4. 3, -4, Luke, is here. Would you say that's in our shaded region? Yeah. He's like, yeah, that one's good. I would just give that a little check mark, you guys. You could just say, that one's all good. How about 4, 7? 4, 7, I think, is here. Is that in my shaded region?
No.
Do you agree it's not in my shaded region? You okay with that? So I'll just give that a little cross out. He is not. -1, 6, guys. Is this point here? On my line. It is. Why? Because it's or equal to. If this was just less than, we could not be on the line. It would not be a solution. But this one's all good because this was an or equal to. Well said, you guys. Okay. Okay. X cubed looks like this. Where are we taking this?
To the right 1.
Right 1.
Down 2.
Down 2. Right 1. Down 2. Right 1. Down 2. You guys. If we went right 1, down 2. Now I have to graph an x cubed graph, which we might be a little less familiar with, but we got this. This is my new origin. What is 1 cubed? Good. So I'm going to go right 1 and up 1 because that's going to represent 1 cubed. 1 cubed is 1. 2 cubed, 2 to the right, is 8. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I give you a terrible graph. There's no room for it, but we're going to just put it right there. And I'm going to mark my origin with the black one. There's my vertex. There we go. Okay. Then we got to do -1 cubed. -1 times -1 times -1 is -1. So if I went left 1, I need to go down 1 now. And this is now the shape of my graph. Solid or dashed line?
Dash.
It's a dashed line, and it's going to follow that cute little curve. Wilson, what point do you want me to try to shade?
0, 0.
That sounds great. If I put a 0, 0 in, if I put a 0, 0 in, you guys, what is 0 minus 1? -1 cubit. -1 minus 2. Is 0 bigger than -3? Yeah, so I'm going to shade where Will's told me. And he said 0, 0, so that's over here. Ooh, absolute value. What's this absolute value doing?
It's the V. We did our.
It's the V. Very good. What's that plus 2 going to do? Left 2. What's that negative in front going to do?
Flip it.
Flip it. What's that 3 going to do? Nice. This messes people up when I put it in this order. You guys, isn't this the same thing as negative absolute value of x plus 2? I could just throw that 3 at the end. That's perfect. So Luke's saying this 3 is going to take it up 3. This 2 is going to make it left 2. Left 2. And then this negative is going to reflect it over the x-axis. So, yes, some people were thinking that 3 might have made it skinnier. But peeps, it would have to be multiplied by that x to make it skinnier. 3x would have made it skinnier. But it's just chilling. All right, you guys, you said left 2, up 3, and we got to face down. We got to face down. So that's my vertex. Then I'm not going to make it any skinnier or wider. I'm just going to go ahead and do a slope of 1, -1. Solid or dashed? Good. What point are we going to pick for this one? 0, 0. I'm down with 0, 0. Is 0 greater than 3 minus, what's 0 plus 2? Absolute value of 2? 2. Is 0 greater than 1? It is not. I cannot shade where 0, 0 is, so I would shade above my graph. And does that check out if it said y is greater than? Yeah. My x squared is going up. It's just going up 1. Guys, we're going to go up 1. And then an x squared graph, I got to do what's 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. And I know it's going to have that nice line of symmetry. And we know our line is going to be solid. Where are we shading? Can we check 0, 0? Is 0 less than 1? Yeah, 0 is less than 1. I'm going to shade where 0, 0 is. Going now. Where are we going? The V is going left 4. We're going left 4, people. That's it. Left 4. Boom. And solid or dashed?
Dash.
Dashed. Above or below? Greater
Above.
than. Yeah. So we're going to shade here. And if you're like, well, is 0 greater than 4? No, I can't shade where 0, 0 is. What is happening with the square root graph? Yeah, square root graph looks like this. And we're going to go left 2. But what else are we going to do? Yeah, we got to reflect that over the x-axis. Weird. So we're going to go left 2. And instead of going like this in red, it's going to go like this in blue because it had to flip, right? So let's think about how we're going to figure out these points. What's the square root of 1? 1. Instead of positive 1, I'm going to go down 1. Are we okay with that? Because I knew it was 1, and I got to go over that x-axis. So I'm going to go here.
You can actually go -1 this time as well.
No, you can't. Be careful, because this is my origin. So check this out, Caleb. The original graph looks like that. The parent function looks like that. And we know our new graph is going to have to go like this. So nothing can exist over here.
Why?
I'm going to get into that. Real fast. Square root of 2, I don't know. 3, I don't know. 4 is 2. I'm going to go down to keep it reflected. Solid or dashed? Dashed. Now, when we go to shade this, does my graph exist over here? There's nothing over there. You want to know why?
Oh, because when you square negative.
When I square root a negative, it'd be imaginary. Check this out. If I used 1x as -4, -4 is over here. What's -4 plus 2? -2. What's the square root of a -2? Imaginary. Do we want to deal with imaginary numbers? No. Do we have to deal with imaginary numbers this year? No. Do we have to do them next year? No. That's when we say, thank you. So when we're graphing pick a point for me then. That's not over here. 0, 0. So if I like that, what is 0 greater?
Pardon the interruption. Larson Middle School and Grandview Heights High School. We have.
If we plugged in our 0, what's the square root of 2? It'd just be a negative square root of 2, right? Is 0 greater than a negative number? Is 0 greater than a negative? Yeah. So where 0, 0 is, I get to shade there. Here's the deal, you guys. You got to only shade from that vertex over. We cannot shade over here. Just be really careful. Where that vertex is, that's when we'll start to shade. How about this one? Where's the V going? Up 2. We're going up 2, y'all. Solid or dashed? Solid line. Where do we gonna shade for greater than? Inside of it, above it, however you want to say that. That's great.
Does an open window mean that you're outside?
Here we go. All right, what's happening to my x squared? What are we doing? What are we doing? My x squared is going right 1, up 2, and flipping. Oh my gosh, right 1, up 2, and flipping. I know my parabola has to be open down. So when I say I know 1 squared is 1, I got to flip it and make it negative 1. When I say 2 squared is 4, I got to flip it and I got to go down 4 instead. Then I'm going to reflect those points. I'm going to draw a solid line. Then, to go back to Caleb's very philosophical questions, what is less than this graph? Where would I shade? Yeah, inside of it. Because if I were to shade outside of it, I'd be above it. And that's not going to be less than. Good. Ooh, careful. Equation of a circle. Right 1, up 3. Isn't they're both opposite?
Oh.
Yeah. Right 1, up 3. There's the center. What's my radius?
6.
I will remind you, Sadie, Soph. So with the equation of a circle, Soph, it's HK are my middle. And the equation is x minus h squared and y minus k squared equals my radius squared. Exactly. Positive 1 and perfect. So that's why you said right and up or 1, 3. A radius of 6, but you guys, careful. What, solid or dashed? Yeah, you ticked. Solid or dashed, y'all? Dashed. We got to draw a dashed circle, which I feel like kind of might help us draw a better circle. What point? Luke Lee, give me a point to try. 0, 0. Luke, what's 0 minus 1? Square it. 1 plus what's 0 minus 3? Square it. Is 10 less than 36? Yeah. So then I'm going to shade where that 0, 0 is. I get to shade in my circle. I say all of this to prep for this. This was an ACT question. There are 60 questions. This was number 56. That means that this one's hard. I want to show you that they're very attainable, meaning it just says which of these graphs represent this system of equations. You guys, do you agree you're better at y equals mx plus b than a circle equation? So let's start with the y equals mx plus b. Can we go get this y by itself? Yeah, when we do that, we would start with maybe a 2y is less than or equal to a negative x plus 6, moving that x over. What would my y be? Less than or equal to? Perfect. Y'all, on question 56 of the ACT, you can get y by itself. That right there is going to eliminate 3 of our 5 answers. This right here. What's my slope need to do? What does my line direction need to be? Down, right? Do you agree J's line is going up? J's out. What's another one that's going to be out? Say it again. G. How'd you know that?
Is this dash?
Exactly. It's dashed and this has to be solid, right? G's out. How'd you know H is out?
Because the inequality is facing the wrong way.
Yeah, it's saying that we've got to be less than and they shaded above it, which would be greater than. You guys, your chance of getting this right, and we've just done y equals mx plus b, went from 20% chance, because there's 5 options, to a 50% shot. For the 56th question, we can do this. Here's where the Now maybe just take a guess, but to see if your guess would be right. Here's what I want you to do for this. Let's go put this closer to a circle form. And are you good with saying moving that 3y squared over? So it'd be a 3x squared plus a 3y squared is greater than 12. You guys okay with that? And that's not helping us much. But we did this yesterday. What do they have in common? Factor it out. They have 3. So if I factored out a 3, what would I have left?
Squared plus y squared is less than 4.
Greater than 4? Perfect. What would the center of the circle be? Do you agree that these are both at 0, 0, so that's not helping us, dang it. What would the radius be?
2.
Yes. Now, which one of these? Talk to me, Brune.
To not hit the check
It can't be the
It needs to
line.
not hit the y, because the y is at 3.
My y-intercept is going to be up 3. They purposely didn't give us a scale on here. They didn't tell us what this is. But if my y-intercept is 3 and the radius is only 2, it's not going to hit it, is it? Anyone guess K when you were down to a 50-50 shot? Anyone guess it? No. Okay.